Hello everyone, Aviraz here. In this video, we are going to talk about the United States clinical experience. So, what is USCE? So, USCE is a form of internship that you do like you are in your medical school in the US. So, these are basically three types: electives, observerships, externships, and research fellowships. So, research fellowships are basically not USCs, but we're gonna talk a little bit about the research fellowships. So, electives can only be done if you are still in a medical school, enrolled in a medical school. So, it can be paid or it can be free. So, the definition of medical student enrolled in a medical school varies from university to university. We're going to talk about that. So, electives may be paid or it may be free. The minimum duration of electives is 4 weeks, but doctors generally do 12 weeks of electives to apply for the match. So, since these are hands-on type of USCs, these are very difficult to get. So, what you need to know is that there are hands-on USCs and there are hands-off USCs. So, hands-on USCs are those USCs where you get to work in the hospital, in the program, like you are in your own medical school. That is, you get to touch the patient, you get to talk to the patient, you get to access the medical records and everything. But hands-off USCs are those sort of USCs where you do not get to touch the patient, and you only observe the mentor that is assigned to you. So automatically these hands-on USCs hold a much of significance than hands-off USCs. So these are very difficult to get, and you need to apply early. The electives cost a lot. Some electives may charge you around $5,000 for a 4 weeks period. So we will talk about the visas and VSLO in the next slide. So if you have connections in the programs you are applying for the electives, then there is a very high chance that you may get recommended and you may land up in a position to do the USCs. So what is the definition of medical student? So medical student is someone who have not yet graduated from the medical school. Date of graduation varies from university to university. So basically in context of Nepal and India, you are a medical student until the end of your internship. But if you are someone from Bangladesh, you are a medical student until the final year of your medical school before you start the internship. That is the date you get your graduation date. So in Nepal and India, the graduation date is the end of your internship, but in the case of Bangladesh, the graduation date is the start of your internship or the end of your final year. So if you are someone who have not yet graduated, then you are a medical student, and that is the final year of your medical school. So these USCs demand you, especially the hands-on USCs, the electives and the sub-internships, demand you to be in the final year of your medical school. So in case of Nepal and India, your internship year is the final year of your medical school. So what are visas and VSLO? So visas stands for Visiting Student Application Service, and VSLO stands for the Visiting Student Learning Opportunities. So some of the big brands like Mayo Clinic, Cleveland Clinic, Johns Hopkins, these all are registered in the visas and VSLO. It is not enough that only you get registered in the visas and VSLO. Your medical school needs to be registered in the visas and VSLO. And if you are someone who is applying through these portals, then there is a very high chance that you may land up into some form of electives. So observerships, you can do it as a medical student or you can do it after graduation. So these are hands-off kind of USCs. So you cannot touch the patient, and it is not fair enough to pay for this. A little bit of amount is okay, but paying $1,000 for observership is not okay, because these do not hold much of the significance. So you need to email the faculties or you need to apply through some websites. And the if you have any contacts or any connections in the program, you can apply for the you are applying for the observerships, there is very high chance that you may get into the program. So externships are the hands-on sort of USCs you can do after graduation. So this is almost always by an agency. So some of the hospital programs usually they have made an agreement with the agencies. So you need to apply through the agencies to get into the externships. So generally the university program provide electives or it may provide observerships, but they do not provide externships. So these are always paid. The externships are always paid. The minimum duration is 4 weeks, and it is of more higher significance than observerships, because obviously it is a hands-on sort of USCEs. So you need to send contacts or cold emails, and it does cost a lot. There is a chance of being betrayed in externship. Why am I saying that is because some of the agencies, they do not provide you with letter of recommendation, that is the LORs. That is the most important thing for which we are trying to do the USCEs. So why USC? To let them know that you have been exposed to the US healthcare system, to let the programs know that you have been exposed to the US healthcare system, and to let yourself know that whether you are a good fit for the US healthcare system, whether the US dream is all you want. Because you get to experience the US medical system, the US medical life, the life in doctor in the US firsthand, and then it can be of great help to you to decide whether this is the thing that you want to continue for the rest of your life. Another thing is to earn the letter of recommendation, and it can be generic type or it can be personalized type. So generic type are those kind of your LORs that they provide to all the students rotating under them, and they only change the name of the student. And personalized LORs are those sort of LORs that are tailored only for you, especially for you. So LORs, home country LORs, do not hold much significance. However, a good well-written LOR from the HOD may help a bit. So research fellowships are not considered as an USCE. So these are considered as a research experience. So research fellowships are so helpful for someone who are applying for a highly competitive specialty like surgery or neurosurgery. So this can be paid, or this can be free. It can be applied for the free of cost, and you may get paid in some sort of research fellowships. The timeline of the research fellowship varies. It may hang around 4 weeks to 12 weeks to 18 weeks to up to a year. So these are a good opportunity for building connections, and these are good for those who have enough time left to apply for the match. So there are universities which let you rotate for free of cost, but there is always a catch. The brand value of your medical school matters. If students from your medical school have rotated in the past under their program, then there is a good chance that you may land up in a position. And if your medical school has a high brand value, it is well renowned all over the world, then, or at least the program director know about your medical school, they have heard the name of your medical school, then there is very high chance that you may land up a position for the USCE. So what is the process for USCE? So you source for one that suit your needs, and then you collect your documents, and then you apply for the USCs. You pay the fees or anything, and then you get the acceptance letter. After getting the acceptance letter, you apply for the visa. The visa that you generally get for the USCs is the tourist visa, that is the B1, B2 visa. And then you start your electives, and then you stand out yourself in the electives. In this whole process, the main thing that you want to have is patience. So a few things to consider. Electives are a very good opportunity to know whether the US dream is all you want, and the one thing where a major chunk of your money goes. You may expect to spend around $10,000 for a 3-month electives, including all the costs. And if you have a prior research experience, then your CV will stand out, because they will look your overall CV before giving you a spot, because there are thousands of students applying for the same spot. So why do they give you the spot? So if you have prior research experience, try to make a stellar CV so that you get into a spot. That's it for the video. Thank you very much.